Whoop and welcome to the JuggalettersRUs. This is the Juggalo Family Vloggers and I'm Batgirljamie.
I'm Twystid J.
We're here to talk to you about a subject that's very important to us. How the government allows companies to cut people in hours and not give them enough hours to live and then expect them to want to still work there. And then you're having to constantly find a new job and you're out of a job in order to get another one. How do they expect people like me and Twystid J to actually work and make enough money? And then, this is another thing that pisses me off. Everything is so high, they don't want to pay anything either. So then people are they're lucky if they make $300 a paycheck. And they can't live off $600. Who can live off who can live off less than $600 a month?
I really couldn't.
I can't live off that much, and I don't know what's going on with. I can't live off that much money. And I don't know what's wrong with places of business where they think that they can get that people want to work for less than 20 hours a week. People want to work for 30 or more hours a week. You know, all you're doing is when you do that, you're making a person not a good. No one's going to be a good employee to your business when you won't give them the chance.
Exactly.
You're basically saying they're a shit employee when you do that. And you make them feel like a shit employee. And when you make them feel like a shit employee, what does it make them?
A shitty employee.
If you want a shitty employee, treat them like shit. We're not there to make you millions of dollars. We're not there to make you thousands of dollars a week.
Exactly. $1 million a year.
We're not. One person ain't there to make you $10,000 a day. Or whatever it is, $1,000 a day.
Exactly.
You don't even pay us $100 a day. So what makes you don't even pay us $50 a day? So what makes you think we want to work so hard that you guys make $1,500 that we do price and put out $1,500 worth of merchandise? What makes you think you're paying us to make it worth our while to do it? You're not. You never will. You barely pay. If you're a place that barely pays over minimum wage, what do you think you're gonna get, Twist? Shit. Nothing. You're not gonna get it, and you're not gonna have employees that want to work like that, and you're not gonna make it because people that come in there can tell when employees are stressed out and they're being treated badly, and when they feel like that, they're not gonna come back.
Exactly, and I think that's another topic.
That's what's wrong with this country. They don't want to pay.
We're living in a disposable society where everybody is just replaceable.
We're not.
Everybody is replaceable.
If you treat everybody like they're replaceable, you'll never get a good employee because they'll never want to be your employee for very long. And when they're not your employee for very long, you're going to have a bunch of employees that don't know how to do the job.
Exactly.
You're never going to have good employees that know how to do the job and can train good. And they're only going to half-ass the job just to get it done so they can keep their hours. If you want someone who's going to treat it right and do it right, you can't stress them out to the point and make them do it wrong. And there's certain people that have a mindset, that have mental disabilities that will not allow them to do stuff wrong just to make it right for what you want.
Exactly.
And someone like me and his mindset, we can't do it wrong. Our mind won't let us.
Exactly. We don't take the lazy way out. We don't do things half-assed. We do it to our potential.
We do it, and we do it right. And if there's something we were told we weren't supposed to do, we don't do it unless we're told we're allowed to.
Exactly.
And when we're told we're not allowed to, that's why we don't do it. And we won't do it unless that certain person that told us we're not allowed to, the big boss, says we're not allowed to. Then we keep doing it that way because that's what people with Asperger's syndrome do. They do things right and they stay doing it right until they're told to do it differently.
Exactly.
They're not going to listen to other employees and how they get it and get it done because it's not right for them. And what might be right for someone with a normal brain is not right for someone with Asperger's syndrome.
I was going to say, even regular people don't have a normal brain.
People with an average brain that don't have Asperger's syndrome can
people with Asperger's syndrome,
if something's not right and it needs to be done and it hasn't been done and they need it done to do their job, they cannot work around not doing it. They have to do it. And that's where when other people are making it so it's hard, takes longer to do that one thing that they needed to do, it takes them longer to do the job because other people didn't help keep it done.
Exactly.
And it makes it harder for people like us. That's where people don't understand, and it frustrates people like us. We get frustrated, and when we're frustrated, we don't work well.
Exactly, and that's really the God honest truth.
If we need to do something and we need to do it fast, and we can't do it and we get behind, we're gonna get really frustrated. If people don't find a way to help us get it right, we're never gonna get it right. And it's this society thinking that everybody's disposable and treating them that way is what's making employees bad employees. And this generation that my niece and nephews are growing up in, and his niece and nephew are growing up in, what are they? There ain't gonna be no jobs for them, even if they do go to college, because there's gonna be people our age, never being able to retire, so they aren't gonna have a job because we're still keeping the job because we can't afford to retire. And if people don't retire, what does that say for the younger generation? There's going to be no jobs for them because there's older people keeping the job. You want people to retire, but if you make it impossible for people to retire, you're going to make it impossible for the next generation to have jobs.
Exactly, and that's...
When people have to hold down 2 or 3 jobs, that makes less and less jobs for the other people.
Exactly, and it's stubborn people that don't want to give up their job.
This society is making it so hard for this younger generation that's growing up. If they don't go to college and become something in the medical field, there's basically no job for them. Unless they want to work like a minimum wage job with hardly any money. And that's sad. This country was going great in the 80s and something ruined it.
Well, they say a lot of it was Nixon.
The Republican thinking ruined
Reagan.
it.
It was a lot of Reagan, a lot of, what's his name?
Clinton letting them go overseas ruined it.
Well, that did ruin it, but you also have to blame
anybody
Bush,
whoever brought in the idea of right to work fucked our country. Fucked it royally. Everybody has a right to work, but everybody has a right to get hours too. And when you and the whole Obamacare fucked people too, because now employees don't want to give you any hours because they don't want to have to give you insurance. I don't think we should have to have insurance if we can't afford it.
You see?
And the government shouldn't have to give us insurance. If we don't want it and we die, that's up on us.
It's people like me and her, and I'm a smoker. And I've picked up the habit because of stress. And,
it's work. It's a lot of wondering what's going to happen
people pay $6 a pack for a pack of cigarettes.
And people don't even know where their next meal is coming from because they don't even know if they're going to get enough hours the next week to pay for their food. That's sad. And a lot of people, if they don't have any bills to prove, and they have bills and they're all can't prove them, then they can't get any government help. That's another thing that's screwy. They should tell people that they can't have it. They can't make people a part-time employee unless they are. There should be a law against having too many part-time employees.
Exactly.
And make them have to have full-time employees. And if a person's been there for so long and they've been full-time most of their time, they can't knock them down. Because that makes
it will never happen. Because now we're living in this disposable society.
Now they want.
And I think this is where we should probably cut the video because.
No. This is where I say. Okay, as we were saying, there should be a law against someone that's been working there for over 2 years, who's been full time and didn't ask to be cut to part time at all. Or ask for any sick time barely to be cutting them down. They'd have to have something better to. They have to have a substantial, good enough reason to take them away from full time.
Exactly, and we really should.
They should not.
Way, but, you know,
it's these new younger people that get in powers of positions that are too young and think like and think wrong. and think wrong and think that people should be major workers and do major amounts of work, super duper.
No, it's the fact that
if you're not
they want slaves.
They want super employees. If you're not a super employee and do super quadruple amounts of work, then they don't want you. And they want to try to push you out. And that's where you're wrong. Because 90% of employees won't be able to do it, and you're just gonna stress yourself out. Because you're always gonna have somebody that doesn't know how to do it, and always someone being trained in the job. When you pull over that many employees, it looks bad on your company, and it makes your employees, it makes your customers not want to come back to your store because they think you're treating the employees bad.
Another thing we should even
it makes
talk
them
about.
makes them think you're treating employees bad, though.
Not to mention, if you go to jail, guess what? Most of the time, you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah, there's no protection from that either.
So basically, you go to jail, you wind up homeless. Oh, basically, you go to jail, you do not collect go.
You're homeless. But most people don't go to jail. But like I said,
People do go to jail, but like I said,
most people don't go to jail.
Most people do go to jail because of something stupid.
Most people never go to jail. Like I said, most people don't go to jail anyways. But like I said, if you didn't ask to be part-time, and you were full-time and they took you to part-time, they should get in trouble for it. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, because they're making it to where they could possibly make someone homeless in a very short period of time. That should not be right.
They don't care unless they make their millions and millions of dollars.
I don't agree with that. I don't think one store should make millions and millions of dollars.
Because it's corporate greed.
It's just greed.
We're living in a society that we have major corporate greed.
Yep. And this is where we're going to end our video and say, comment your opinions on this, because I think our society is going to hell because we're too greedy and too concerned about one person making more money than everybody else and taking it from people like us.
Exactly.
You ponder on that and comment, rate, subscribe, and if you have a video idea, comment below, and if you want to see more videos like this, thumbs this up and go check out Twystid J's video and check out my channel, The Batgirljamie Show. And we want to thank you for watching. And don't forget to check out our other videos. Peace out and much love to the Juggalo family. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Bye!